Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday, it's 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind, our Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magic Man, as always. And you know what? I mean, we could have talked about Final Fantasy XVI again, right? Like, we did our in-progress, couple of hours review last time. But, you know, it's really tempting to start getting into story beats and stuff like that. We talked about the combat, right? Like, we can maybe spend 5 minutes talking about how the combat has evolved now that we've played longer. But, yeah, I didn't want to get into spoilers. So we're going to save that for next week because Flynn's already finished. I'm right behind him. Tark's right behind me. So we should mostly be done with the game next week. And that'll give you 2 full weeks of the game without us talking about spoilers. So duly warned, next week, spoilers. But what did that leave? Well, that left screw all for a Final Fantasy XIV and Square Enix podcast this week. Unless you wanted to talk about Square Enix canceling their Just Cause mobile game. And when we asked them directly why, they said, Just Cause. So today, we're going to... Yes! Yes. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on audio or Spotify... audio. Listening to the audio version on Spotify, iTunes, Audible, any of those. Thank you so much. While you're there, click like and subscribe. Turn on those notifications. Tell a friend what we do here, and let us know what you think about 16 in the comments below. We're going to do some Celebrity Jeopardy with these 3 fine celebrities. We've got Tark, we've got Flynn, and we got special guest. Welcome back once again to the show. Raideo Piers, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm glad to be here. I am happy to be hanging with you guys and answering a few niche questions about Final Fantasy. Can't wait.
Well, I mean, you always get the easy ones in the 200, 400 bracket, and then they get a little harder. Yeah, but Tark, I don't think I've ever gone too niche on any of these questions, right? Like, even the $1,000 ones, you're like, I don't know it, but as soon as I hear it, I feel like I'm going to remember that. Have I ever gone, like, ridiculously niche on you?
No, only during Final Jeopardy and, you know, Valentine's Day event.
Still so angry about the Valentine's Day.
The salt of it all.
The character won on every server. How are you, Tark? You ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Dave, unfortunately, is a little bit busy. It's in his nap. Don't want to wake him. He's super grumpy when you wake him from his nap. So I'll be here today.
Totally understand. And also on the line, of course, Mr. Paul, a.k.a. Flynn. What's up, my friend?
I'm wondering if my brain will work at midnight for this kind of show.
Yeah, you do have to kind of you do trivia, and stay up late, and then I'm going to ask you questions. Let's do it that way. Hey, before we move over to the show, I do want to get a little 16 chat in from you, Pierce. Like the last time you were on the show, the game was just kind of on its way. We talked very briefly about like the latest video, but now that you've had some hands-on time with it, are you enjoying it? Does it fit with your perceived notion of a Final Fantasy mainline title? Do you like the shift in the action combat? What are your general thoughts?
So overall, I absolutely adore the game. I think it's fantastic. I love the combat. I love the story. I love the characters, the voice acting. Everything is crisp. The music is fantastic. I've been thinking a lot about whether or not it fits what my idea of Final Fantasy is. I think in a lot of ways it does. In a lot of ways, it is a very huge departure from Final Fantasy. Do I think it deserves to be a mainline numbered title? The jury's still out. The jury's still out for me.
He almost said yes. He was like, maybe not.
The jury's still out. And that's not to say I don't absolutely love the game and the work that everybody put into it. I love it, but it is a very huge departure. But I mean, again, so was 15, so was 13. It's getting a little bit more and more away from that whole mainline thing that we're used to as the PlayStation 1 era Final Fantasy fans like me who got in and played Final Fantasy VII. It's definitely a huge departure, but like I said, I love it. So
it's something like I said on this show before. If they would have released it like a Stranger of Paradise, it would just be received as an amazing game.
Yes,
and that's all you hear. The fact that it's mainline is what changes it, and that it's basically not an RPG. Like that, it just isn't, and
RPG elements are like, here's a sprinkle.
They're so surface level. But it is. I am very much enjoying it. 78% through. Piers, you'll have to let us know how you feel about it when you're done. Have you finished, or are you still working your way?
So again, to avoid all spoilers, I think I'm about to venture into the final dungeon. Let's put it that way. So I'm doing the side quests before that. They populated the world with a bunch of side quests, I'm assuming, to get yourself ready for the big final dungeon. So
right. They're like, why don't you gain a few more levels real quick? Here you go, buddy. Here you go, buddy. Well, we're going to play Final Fantasy Jeopardy one-round chat. That's the way it's going to work today, and we'll have a final Jeopardy round. We've got the scoreboards ready. We've got the buzzers ready. We've got the board ready. I'll show you that in just a second when we play the intro. But just a few notes. This is just a friendly game. We still have yet to do our championship round between Fusion, Mr. Happy, and Kronos, so I didn't want to put more champions on the block for another game until we were able to get that scheduled. That's kind of a tough schedule to get with those three people. We will get that match in. This is just going to be a friendly, and as always, this game is never meant to impugn anybody's knowledge or enjoyment of anything Final Fantasy. This is for fun. This is not to make anybody look silly or less of a fan.
No.
Hey, that was pre-show.
He's all like,
that was pre-show.
Hey,
whoa. Yeah, but all I said, you are abysmal at this game. Like, you are 0 for 7, and we've only had 3. Like, I don't know how.
Wow.
Doesn't mean you're any less of a fan or anything, or know your shit. Maybe you're just bad at trivia, Who cares?
Oh, my God.
Doesn't matter. I think today's your day, Tark.
All right, we'll see.
I think today is your day. Everybody's got their pens and paper ready for Final Jeopardy. So I think on that note, we just we go ahead and get started. Here we go. Let me show you the board. And hold on. I'll cue up the intro. That'll work even better. Here we go. Come on. It's broke already. It's broken already. It's broken already.
Oh,
there we go.
After the show, I need to go back to the VOD and pick out what's on your desktop.
It was Discord, bro. That was it. Oh, and media files for MMO Bomb podcast tomorrow. Welcome to the Relic Grind, Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast, Final Fantasy Jeopardy.
Yay. Where's Alex?
Where is that?
Let's take a look at the categories. Outside the games. Cruising in a Final Fantasy world. Final Fantasy races. Ultimate weapons. Name that world. Chasing the stats. Those are your categories for today's show, gentlemen. That is outside the games, cruising in a Final Fantasy world, Final Fantasy races, ultimate weapons, name that world, and chasing the stats. Gentlemen, in your buzzer screen, I have selected a number between 1 and 20. I'm going to ask you in your text entry box to guess a number between 1 and 20 inclusive. Closest, over or under, doesn't matter. Just the closest will get the option to go first. Wow. I can see all three of yours. You're fine.
Okay.
All three of you have your guess in. Flynn, you were the furthest away. Tarkoth, you were also away, but closer. Pierce nailed it.
Nice.
17. Little psychological force that I was messing around with there, and one of you got it. I appreciate it. I'm going to reset your buzzers, and if on the count of 3, all 3 of you could hit them just to make sure they're still working here. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, hold on. I was on the
2 of you hit it. There you go. There you go. No problem. And Flynn, you won on that buzzer. So, Pierce, the board is yours. No, you don't have to answer in the form of a question. We're just looking for straight trivia answers. Chat, they cannot see you. So, as always, feel free to play along. Pierce, the board is yours, my friend.
All right. I'm stupid. Where do I see the board?
Oh, yeah, hold on. That would help. I didn't turn that camera on. Here you go. Boop. There's the board for you. Please let me finish reading the question before you attempt to buzz in an answer. There is an audio version of this show.
I'll take I'll do ultimate weapons for 200, please.
Starting with the weapons. Here we go. Pretty easy based on the names here, but this is Cloud's ultimate weapon in Final Fantasy VII. Pierce.
What is ultimate weapon?
Yeah, right. Pretty easy based on the names here. We give Mr. Pierce $200 and control of the board. So back to you to select.
Let's do ultimate weapons for 400, please.
Just sticking with the date that brought you, huh? Don't open any forbidden chests in Final Fantasy XII if you want this ultimate spear. Pierce.
What is the Zodiac Spear?
Look at that. He's off and running. Another $400 for Pierce. 2, 3, 4. Tark, did you just clear your throat? I think I heard you. I think I heard you clear your throat. Pierce, you're up again. Board's still yours.
Ultimate weapon 600, please.
Running the category. In both the original Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy II, this was the game's ultimate weapon, at least until the Dawn of Souls release changed things a bit. Oh, Flynn coming in on this one, but he doesn't look too sure.
Yeah, not too sure on this one. Dawnbreaker.
It is not. So that's going to be a little negative 400. I'm sorry, 600 for you, Flynn. I'll reset the buzzers. Tark, Pierce, if you want to buzz in, you can.
I don't want to risk the point.
He's like, I'm off to a lead. I'm not messing this up. Tark, you want to take a guess?
It's been too long, so no, I'll pass on it.
No guesses at all. That is the Mazamune.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten it.
It changed with the Dawn of Souls. It wasn't quite as powerful. Well, I mean, it was still like the ultimate weapon, but it wasn't the strongest weapon anymore. So, Pierce, that board is still yours then, my friend.
Ultimate weapons 800, please.
Due to Final Fantasy III's job system, the strongest weapon in the game is actually this consumable item, which deals 9,999 damage upon use, but only ninjas can use it. Pierce.
This is a shot in the dark. What is a Fuma Shuriken?
I'm going to give it to you. You didn't have to be as specific. I'm going to give it to you. Shuriken is all that we really needed for that one. But I'm going to give that to you because you had it. You had it. You just gave me a little extra detail. Oh, what? Whoops. No, there we go. And then we give you 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. Piers, back to you. Are we finishing the weapons?
Yeah, we'll finish the category, please.
Finishing it off with a big lead so far. Since Final Fantasy VI's Ultima weapons power actually depends on your character's levels, this weapon usually ends up being the strongest weapon for most players. No buzzes.
Crickets.
No
Crickets.
buzzes. No guesses?
I have a guess, but I don't want to lose 1,000 points.
No, we're worth to go back to 400. All right, so we'll call the question dead. What do you want to guess?
Ragnarok.
Good thing you didn't guess. It was Lightbringer.
Lightbringer.
Lightbringer. Not the technical strongest weapon, but because the strongest weapon usually depends on character level, most people use the Lightbringer. Yeah, Pierce, it's still you, buddy. 5 straight. You get to pick the 6th one now, too.
Oh, wonderful. We'll do Final Fantasy Races for 200, please.
As always, this category, or as I'm sure you know from the title, this is going to cover races that exist in Final Fantasy, not like Chocobo's racing. Different races. Different races. This race wasn't available in Final Fantasy XIV for quite some time, making Fran pretty miffed. Tark!
What is Vieira?
Yeah, buddy, he's on the board.
On the
He's
board.
on the board
Positive.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And it's a positive dollar amount. All right, Tark, you've wrested control of the board away from Piers. Where do you want to go?
Let's name that world for 200.
Name that world for 200. Obviously going to be naming worlds that appeared in Final Fantasy titles. For 200, you said?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. The world in the newly launched Final Fantasy XVI. Flynn!
What is Valisthea?
Yes, you got it. All right, you're just chipping away at that negative 600. Now you're at negative 400. Trying to make it a game. I appreciate it. Now, this will be the first category you get to pick, and all 3 of you will have had a pick already. I like it. We're off to a good start, gents. Some of us better than others, but a good start. Flynn, you're up. What do you want?
Let's do Need a Will for 600.
Oh, he says screw 400. I'm going straight for 600.
Get myself back.
This World of Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII, made up. This is the World of Lightning Returns, Final Fantasy XIII, made up of the blending of previous games' worlds. Lots of shit goes down. The worlds get smashed together. Now you're in the final 13 game. What is that world called?
Been too long.
It's only 600. I mean, you're the one to jump.
It's just empty now.
All right, we'll call it a dead question. Any guess?
Well, Coon.
No.
You could Google this where my brain was going.
No. Nova Chrysalia.
Of course it is. I never played
See? That's always it. Yeah. Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Flynn, back to you. Nobody took control from you, so it is your board again.
Say category for 400 this time.
Name that world for 400?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it, brother. The world of tactics, Vagrant Story, and an appearance in Final Fantasy XIV. Piers.
Evilise.
That is correct for $400 for you. That is Evilise for Raideo. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And you wrestle control back. What do you want?
Let's pivot back to Final Fantasy Races for 400, please.
Taking it back. Kelger is the leader of the city where this race resides in Final Fantasy V. Kelger, Final Fantasy V, what race? Ooh. Perhaps a replay of FF5 is in order across the board here.
Perhaps.
These are my Dawn Warriors.
Fantasy V.
Oh, have you never?
No.
Wow, really? These are my Dawn Warriors, baby.
I'll get it wrong. I'll buzz.
Pierce, going for it on a late buzz. What do you got?
The Lupin or Lupine.
I'm going to take it. Yeah, their werewolf also will accept lycanthrope or will accept lupine. Yep.
Okay.
Nice job there. 400.
I knew it was like the wolf person. I knew that.
Yeah.
I haven't played this since Anthology came out.
I'm going to go with the wolves, Mike. Pierce, board is yours.
600, please.
600 for
races.
Final Fantasy Races.
Yes.
Also known as Moonfolk or Moonfarers. Ooh, another late buzz. Piers, what do you got?
Lunarian.
Yes, you got it for another 600. There's 5 and 1. What's up, medic? Or unseen Moogle. Someone needs to do 4 job Fiesta on 5. Yeah. Yep. Piers, board is yours still, and you are in a commanding lead right now of 2,800 to Tark's 200 to Flynn's negative 400.
Keep the train rolling with races for 800, please.
Races for 800. One of the primary tribes in Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. These tall and intelligent beings usually cover or hide their faces with their armor. Sorry, I didn't have the buzzers reset, but it was didn't matter anyway. Nobody hit one.
I can picture them in my mind, but
I got as well. Oh.
Yeah. Crystal Chronicles. Good times.
Hey, man, it was the $800 question. They're the Ukes.
The
Ukes.
Yep.
The Ukes. Pierce, back to you, my friend.
Let's finish the category.
You sound thrilled. This amphibian race from amphibian race from Final Fantasy X is perhaps best known for their lisp.
Another
Flynn.
one right.
The Guado.
It is not the Guado.
No,
I'm going to
no.
reset the buzzers. Flynn gets
yep,
negative a grand on that one.
I know.
It's not the
I
Guado.
picture him in my head, but
Me too.
hell if I know what their race is.
Rides the
Yeah, I
sheep
just
up.
had the quote.
Buzzers are reset if either of you wants it.
Ride
All
the
right,
shoe puff.
Tark, do you have a guess? No, it doesn't count. It's just a
Ride
guess.
Ride the shoe puff. I don't know.
No, Pierce?
I don't know the name of their race.
I couldn't name them. It's the shoe puff person, but I can't tell you what the name of the race is. I think there's only like one person in the world, right? That's the
Hypello? Like,
Yep.
okay.
All right. Yep.
It was probably
Hypello.
It was probably named once, and that's never again. And
All right, Pierce, commanding lead still, but the board is still yours. What do you want?
We'll do cruising in a fantasy world for 200.
This is about vehicles used in games of Final Fantasy. Not necessarily all four-wheeled vehicles, just vehicles in general. For 200, you said?
Yes.
Let's get started with the category. Airship for the world-famous Tantalus Theater Troupe in Final Fantasy IX. Flynn.
Prima Vista.
It is. It is the MS Prima Vista. $200 for Flynn. Trying to dig out of that hole, but you got to start somewhere, friendo. You got to start somewhere. What category do you want?
Let's keep going down this one.
He's like, this one seemed to work. Take a ride on this in Final Fantasy IV to reach the moon. Tark.
what is a lunar whale?
It is the lunar whale. You got it. $400, friendo. And you are closing the gap on Pierce. Board is yours now.
Let's go cruising in a fantasy world for 600.
Riding a chocobo in Final Fantasy is second nature to most players, but they weren't able to do so until their first appearance in this Final Fantasy. Tark.
What is Final Fantasy 3?
It is not Final Fantasy 3. So, Tark, I got to take this $600 from you now and put you at 0. Buzzers are reset if you want to jump in. Flynn.
Final Fantasy 2.
It is Final Fantasy 2. Yes, you get the $600.
Damn.
Where is it? Where is Flynn here? There we go. Plus 500, plus 100. As always, chat, remember, questions are correct to the best of my personal knowledge and or research. And if you disagree and any of them are totally wrong, fuck you. It's a game. Flynn, you're up. My son tried to challenge me last night on that one. That's why that reminded me to bring up that disclaimer. He was like, you couldn't ride it in 2. I was like, yeah, you could. Yeah, you could. But you had to go to a specific place to get it. Flynn, your board's yours.
Same category again.
800 or a grand?
Go 800.
800. This Final Fantasy VIII location doubles as a vehicle for a while until it is replaced by the far more useful Ragnarok. Tark.
What is Balam Garden?
It is Balam Garden. Well done, my friend. $800 for the Tarkster. Back into the positives. and you get control of the board. What would you like?
Cruising for 1,000.
Finishing it off. Final Fantasy XII Revenant Wing sees you flying around in this airship, which somehow operates without a skystone. And a hush falls over the crowd.
One of those games where I purchased, but I never even freaking put it in the DS.
A hush falls over the crowd.
Sure does.
Anybody want to guess? Dead question. Anybody want to take a guess?
I can't even think.
Nothing. They got nothing for me. It's the Galbana. The Galbana. Which means, Tark, you still have control of the board. There's about a third of the board left. Piers, 2,800. You right behind with 800. Trying to close the gap. Flynn, still not out of this by any stretch of the imagination with 3 $1,000 questions still on the board at negative 600. So, Tark, board is yours. What do you want?
In that world for 800.
Name that world. The name of the world in World of Final Fantasy kind of fits nicely with the kind of storybook presentation of the game. A little bit of a hint in that one. Apparently not enough of one. No takers. 3, 2, 1, and it's sold. Gone. Any guesses?
Wonderland?
Flynn, you got a guess from me? No, not Wonderland. You're kind of along the right idea, though. It's the Grimoire. Grimoire. A storybook or a book. Yeah, Grimoire. Tark, you're up.
Name that world for 1,000.
Killing the category with Final Fantasy VI devolves into a world of ruin. But this is the common name used for the world prior to that, given that there wasn't an official name for the world. Piers.
The world of balance.
Yes, he got it. It is the world of balance. Taking home a grand on that one. Look at that kid. 3,800. 2 full categories left. Plenty of cash on the board. Piers, you're starting to try to run away with it. Where do you want to try to lock this game out?
Let's go to chasing the stats for 200.
Chasing the stats. These are all going to be stat or numerically related to Final Fantasy. 200, most commonly used as the currency in Final Fantasy games. Tark.
Gil.
It is Gil. Have $200. Have 200 Gil right there. give you a little Gil. You break the grand mark. Look at you.
Yay.
Where do you want to go?
Chasing stats for 400.
Chasing the stats for 400. This stat often serves different purposes depending on the game. In some, it's used in determining max hit points. In others, it only impacts the actual speed of chocobos. Tark.
What is stamina?
Yeah, buddy. Look at you. Stamina, $400 for Tark. Hey, this doesn't get you any points, but do you know what game it's used for chocobo speed, and that's it?
14?
7.
7.
Yeah, 7. Tark, you're trying to make it a game. You're getting close. Where do you want to go?
Let's go outside the games for 200.
Oh, he gets 2 right in the category and then abandons it. He's like, we're out of here. Outside the games, 200. This is going to be media related to Final Fantasy that is not the games themselves. 200. The name of the companion movie released prior to the launch of Final Fantasy XV. Flynn.
Kingsglaive.
Yeah, Flynn gets it for $200. Kingsglaive. Trying to climb out of the hole. You are oh so close. One question, like there isn't a question on the board that won't get you to at least 0 should you get it right. Where do you want to go?
Let's do a sick category for 1,000.
Same category for 1,000?
Yeah.
Just making sure I heard the Welshness correctly, because that was a jump, brother. That was a jump.
That's some Jeopardy strategy right there. Go.
It is. He's like, I'm going to try and get it. Or...
Get it out of the hole.
All right. Outside the games for 1,000. Here it comes. Let me reset these buzzers. There we go. Here comes the question. The number of books in the full The Sky, The Art of Final Fantasy Slipcase Edition. Tark just laughs. The sky. Oh, Flynn buzzes in.
Gonna risk it with 5.
Oh, it's not 5. Damn it. I was pulling for you. That's negative 1,000. Go big or go home, says Unseen Moogle, formerly Medic Prinny. No guesses? We'll call it dead question. Either of you two want to take a guess?
No.
6.
No. 3. There's 3.
3.
Yeah, there's
I was thinking 3 or 5.
Well, you should have flipped that coin again, I guess.
As usual, I did that.
It is still your board. I mean, consolation prize, it is still your board, and you still aren't mathematically out of this.
This same category 800.
800 outside the games. This novel is a prequel to Advent Children and is dubbed as a Turk's side story.
Oh.
I bet Tark can envision the cover. Like, I bet he's like, I can see the cover, but I can't seem to read it. Tark, that is a thinking man's face right there. Damn, brother. That is like a concentration face and a half. Nobody confident enough to buzz?
Turk's side story.
He's almost got it. Unseen Moogle, I think you're right. I think Tark is like, it's like right there, but he can't get it. We'll call it a dead question and show you the answer. That's Final Fantasy VII. The kids are all right.
Okay.
Turk's
I'm glad I
side
didn't.
story.
Yeah, I was thinking on the way to a smile, and I would have been wrong.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
sort of.
Oh
what I
yeah.
think.
That
I
was
was
yeah.
like,
that-
I was like, Turks, that ain't right. No.
Yeah, that's you're right
You
there.
said novel, and I'm like, no, that's not a novel. That's
Yeah, it's
collection of
collection.
stories.
Yeah. 5 questions left. Flynn, the board is yours. Where can we?
Outside
where
the
can we
games
get
is
you
600.
for 600? Want to see Cloud and Sephiroth at it again? This 2005 movie gives you that opportunity. Tark,
Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
you got it, brother. $600 for Tark on Advent Children, closing that gap on Radio Peers. Tark, the board is yours, my friend.
I guess we'll finish it. Outside the games for 400.
Fair enough. This Final Fantasy movie ended up costing Square millions and almost the planned merger with Enix. Piers.
Spirits Within.
Yep.
God help them.
Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within for 400. Radio takes home the $400. Give you those. Only one category left, so not a lot of room for you here, Flynn. Gonna need some catching up here. Like, you go 3 for 3 and you're golden. Go 2 for 2, 2 out of 3. It depends on the 2. You could finish at 0, but you could finish above 0 too. Unfortunately, it's Radio Pierce's board. What do you want to do?
We'll just do 600.
600. The first mainline Final Fantasy to see the level cap be 100 instead of 99. Flynn.
Final Fantasy 8.
Oh, somebody's trying to make it a game. That is $600 for you, Flynn. $600 now at a negative 800 with 18 on the board. Which one do you want?
Let's go with the 800.
The 800. Originally, this stat was totally broken, meaning red mages in the original Final Fantasy were just as good at spellcasting as black or white mages. It was absolutely broken. I mean, Flynn, you kind of got to take a guess, right?
Go for it.
I'm trying to remember what the stats are. That's one.
Originally, this stat was totally broken, meaning red mages in the original Final Fantasy were just as good at spellcasting as black or white mages. Hey, Flynn buzzes in.
Just go for speed.
It is not speed. Oh.
It's
Any
been
other
too long
guesses?
since I've played the originals. Way too long.
Intelligence. Intelligence.
I wanted
didn't
to
wanna-
see that.
I didn't want to risk it, dude. I didn't want to risk it.
Last question. Here it comes. Chasing the stats for 1,000. Although shown in the game's menus as one stat, Final Fantasy XII's evasion stat is actually 2 stats. Weapon evasion and this. I mean, Flynn, you got nothing to lose, bro, right? just hit that buzzer, friend. Hey, Flynn, buzzed in. What do you got?
Armor evasion.
Is not... I'm going to give it to you, actually. It's technically called shield evasion. But yeah, I'm going to give it to you on a grand because it really doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, that's very, very close. Very close. All right, so that does it for the game board, which puts Flynn at -600. Couldn't quite get back in there. Raideo Piers at 4,200 and Tark at $2,000. Anybody want to give Flynn a little cash so he can play Final Jeopardy with us? Didn't Happy do that because he was the only one with cash at the end, Tark? Like you and Kronos were both negative. And so he's like,
Piers and I both give him 400. There, he'll have 200.
You both want to give him $400? Put him at 200. All right.
Sure.
So we're gonna take 400 off of Raideo, 400 off of Tark, and we'll give you 800, Flynn. So you have $200. All right. So the final category, or the final Jeopardy category for today, as it always is on this show, is whoops. Let me get rid of this. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Final Fantasy XIV. I'm going to give you about 25 seconds because I'm going to be playing music for the chat to write your wager down. Go ahead and do that. Write your wager, gentlemen, on your piece of paper. Knowing the category.
I figured you'd want it on the text entry.
No, that's fine. I mean, if you turn a piece of paper over and it has $7 things scratched out, I'm going to know you freaking cheated.
I mean, it's just easy to turn the page.
And then, obviously, when we get to the question, I'll give you 30 seconds of thinking time. Everybody got their wagers?
Yep.
Piers, you got yours?
Yep.
All right. We're all logged. Flynn, I'm going to wager that yours is 200. I'm going to guess that yours is 200. All right, here's the question. Whoops, the slideshow didn't go to the right slide because it's all automated. Here we go. Get out of here and go to this slide. Perfect. This mainstay MMO feature was not in the original version 1.0 launch of Final Fantasy XIV, and in multiple interviews, including one with our friend aka Mike B, Hiromichi Tanaka said it simply was not needed to explore the game. What feature are we talking about? Enjoy some thinking music, chat. This mainstay MMO feature was not in the original version 1.0 launch of Final Fantasy XIV, and in multiple interviews, including one with our friend aka Mike B, hope him and his family is doing well, Hiromichi Tanaka said it simply was not needed to explore the game. Flynn, we're going to start with you. Go ahead and show us on camera your wager and your answer. $200 for mounts. And he put in a little quack. No, unfortunately, it is not mounts. It is not mounts. They may not have been included, but this specific feature was mentioned in interviews as not being needed. Next up, that's going to be Tark at $1,600. Tark, what do you got, my friend?
Well, we wagered the whole thing. We're going with auto attack.
$1,600 on auto attack. That is not correct.
Oh.
That is not correct. So we got 2 at 0. Piers, I mean, as long as you wagered $37.99 or below, you win this game regardless of your answer. But let's see what you wagered and what your answer was.
All right, I got
world map for a stunning 200. No, it's not a world map, but we'll We'll take the 200 from you. That puts you at a stunning 3,600 victory. The answer was not shield evasion. What are you doing, slideshow?
Shield evasion.
Oh.
Wow,
Yeah,
crazy.
it's not shield evasion. There you go. The answer was jumping.
Jumping.
Oh.
Literally, multiple interviews just said it's not needed for exploration of the world. Like, okay. Have you ever watched somebody play an MMO? All they do is bunny hop. What the hell?
If
Are
you
you
was referencing this to 11, I probably would have
Yo,
guessed jumping.
I'm a Final Fantasy XI veteran, okay, and there was no jumping at all in that
No,
game.
there
In fact,
wasn't.
There'd be times where you would die intentionally, and someone would have to raise you up a hill just so you could get back
Yep.
to where like the rest of your...
we body dragged like that quite a bit back in those days. A man after my own heart.
Yeah.
Was way too addicted to that game. Great job, Piers. 3,600. Tark 0. Flynn at 0. Raideo Piers coming in with the 3,600 victory. You get 25 seconds to say whatever you want to celebrate your victory. Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank all those out there who love Final Fantasy and my mom and God and it was it was an interesting experience. I didn't know as much as I thought I did. So a lot of those questions of like the supplementary like World of Final Fantasy and like even like Lightning Returns and stuff like that, stuff I've never engaged with. So like mostly the mainline stuff is like where I'm super knowledgeable.
We all get humbled on them. We all get humbled on them from time to time. Flynn, rough game. Your first time out. It's midnight your time. We understand. We appreciate you playing. Who do you want to thank for that stunning victory?
I just thank my guys for giving me some money to do the last question. I still messed up.
Of course. Hey, none of us got that question right, so.
Yeah.
Tark, Final Jeopardy, kind of screwed you. You were in a bind. You were really going to have to
Final Jeopardy.
yeah, you were really going to have to double up to really do anything meaningfully there anyways. He kind of had to go for it. But honestly, dollar-wise, I think that's your best performance through
I swear,
the round.
There's a couple times where I'm certain someone outbuzzed me by like milliseconds.
Yeah, I can see the
yeah.
timers. Yeah, I can actually see the timers when each of you buzzes in, and if you don't use this, when it buzzes in, it shows me their name in red, whoever hit it first, and then it shows me the timing of all three. So you are right. I mean, you're talking fractions of a millisecond over an internet connection. So who knows? Maybe you would have crushed Piers in the live show.
Mhm.
That's what we'll just say.
Go.
Like if we were all in person, yeah, you would have crushed him. You would have crushed him. Gentlemen, thank you as always for playing. It's always wonderful. Chat, by the way, I'm going to let Raideo Piers sign off first here, let you know where you can follow him. I know there's a little Twitter icon next to his name. That's actually his Twitch. I forgot that this slide had the Twitter icon baked in. It was not a layer, so I just had to leave it there. But that's actually Raideo_Piers is the Twitch. Where can everybody find you? What are you doing? What are you streaming? Hanging out?
Well, not streaming as much as I should be. I know Tark gets on me a lot when we do our show together, but it's something I want to get more into. In fact, I think I did tell him I wanted to, after I beat Final Fantasy 16, to stream the Final Fantasy mode, the hard mode or whatever. So I think I might do that. So definitely catch me on there doing that. I love the game so far. You can see me do some crazy combos and stuff. But if I'm not on there, I'm usually on Final Fantasy 14. You can come hit me up on there. Pierce Harvey on Leviathan. Just come hang out with me. I don't have a Twitter. Apparently that's a joke now. Only 600 tweets you can watch if you're not verified or whatever. So I don't know. I've never been a Twitter person, but yeah, come check me out on Twitch. I do want to get into streaming more. So it was fun to hang out with you guys. So.
Perfecto. Flynn?
You can find me over on Twitch over Big Crisis. Me personally on Twitter at Flint_Laureate. At the minute, there's bouncing between raid streams, and I'm getting back into other streams with Persona 3 Portable and more Caves of Cud.
Mr. Tark?
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at Tarkoff Gaming. You find me playing Final Fantasy 14 most of the days of the week, and also find me here on Ready Check Radio. On Saturdays, we are finishing episode Prompto, and then the proper game. Yeah.
Playing not Final Fantasy 16.
Not 16.
That's what he's playing. Faye will be live after the show today, chat, so give us a few minutes to reorganize some things, come up. We'll bring Faye online so you can hang out with her tonight. Of course, we'll be back Saturday night with an episode of Gaming Gumbo, wrapping up the week in gaming. And next week here on the Relic Grind, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. My name is Mike Byrne. You can follow me on Twitter right down there, Magic Man 1. But more importantly, follow at RC Radio, RAIDEO. And you'll know every time we go live with a podcast, Final Fantasy trading card game stream, or we're just hanging out gaming. And you're welcome to come hang with us. Until next time, my friends, stay safe. We'll see you on the servers. Later.